Gordon is our 2025 NFL Draft Prospect Profile of the day. And, man, talk about Ollie Gordon a year ago, and you'll have consensus number one running back off the board. He was the top rusher in college football last year, and it's something to be studied, how the offensive line, how a team can absolutely help a running back, and how he carried his team on his back. Had to do it again this year. And now his draft stock has plummeted. There are some chinks in his armor. He's not perfect. Right now he's being considered a third, fourth round grade. He's probably going to go somewhere at the end of day 2, beginning of day 3. But I think some team has some untapped potential here. Someone who could resurge him back to his 2023 season. So here's what we're talking about. If you look on the screen, I know that's small. I apologize for those who can't see it. 2023 rushing leaders, Ollie Gordon was number 1 in all of college football. 1,580 yards with 6.4 yards per attempt. 20 touchdowns and 2 fumbles. In every single regard, he was a better running back than Ashton Jeanty in 2023. This is both of their sophomore seasons. They're both the same grade, same age, same level in this draft class. Down was Cody Schrader, Missouri. Taj Brooks, Texas Tech. Then Omarion Hampton was number 4. North Carolina, Kamari Vidal. Then you get down, Audric Estime, R.J. Harvey, Jaden Ott, and you see a little gap there. Down to 23 was Ashton Jeanty. 1,103 yards, only 180 attempts, 6.1 yards per attempt. So it wasn't quite used as much as Boise State used him in 2024. Fast forward to 2024, Ashton Jeanty clearing away by a long ways the number 1 rushing leader, 2,287 yards. Now, if some of you are saying, I thought Ashton Jeanty had 2,500, 2,600 yards. I'm only showing the season stats. I'm not showing the playoffs. I'm not showing the 3 extra games you get from being in the playoffs. I'm only showing the season stats. But 7.3 yards per attempt. And then all the way down, you get Omarion Hampton, R.J. Harvey, Caleb Johnson, Taj Brooks, Dylan Sampson, Cam Scatteroo, DJ Giddens, all the way down. 54th, Ollie Gordon. And it's consensus. Everyone will tell you as they watch the tape, there's still a ton of talent with Ollie Gordon. Tons. It's screaming off the tape. But he only had 854 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt. It looked more like what he's going to face in the NFL. With a line that's not always perfect, with teams blowing through, he had to create and make a lot of things happen. And I think he did a decent job this year, but his draft stock obviously plummeted because of it. So I know that's tiny. For those of you looking on the computer, you can look there from 24/7 is the scouting report for him. That's just one of the different scouting reports you can see from the combine. 4.6, 140, 1.6, 10-yard split, which is much better, really good. Vertical jump, 34.5, broad jump, 10 foot. So his draft stock was plummeting. He did really well at the Senior Bowl, too. You can see there the Senior Bowl measurements that he had, not 6'2", 6'1", 233 pounds, so even more than the 225. 9 and 2/8 or 9 1/4 hands, wingspan decent. So nothing there with measurements that are negative. I mean, he's a big back. He's an imposing back. He could be a 3-down back for sure. But he did tailspin. He did go down draft boards because of what happened from the change of 2023 to 2024. I see him coming back up boards a little bit now because of the combine, because of the Senior Bowl, where he showed out really, really well, which is going to happen when you're the strength of your team. Your line was the weakness, and you're having to carry the team, and that was clear and evident from Ollie Gordon on his tape. So here's his season, though, and it varies. The range on him varies. I did not put a grade here because I can see him going anywhere from the 3rd round into the 4th round. I can see someone even taking a risk on him at the end of the 2nd round, beginning of the 3rd round. It's just when you have something happen like that drop-off right there, from 2023 to 2024, where you had 1,580 yards, 6.4 yards per attempt, to 854 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt. And your yards after contact slightly dipped, but still a good receiving back, decent pass blocker, not a strength at all. You can see his pass blocking and run blocking, or what they have as his weaknesses. Decent hands, but he does break a lot of tackles. He's got a good arsenal in his bag of running. He's got great contact balance. So, as I always do, we'll pull up the tape here, and we read from his scouting report, and that's what we do here. So his strengths: imposing physical specimen with prototypical NFL frame who initiates contact.
I feel like I'm very versatile when it comes to playing on the field. You can leave me on the field on all downs, and yeah, that's how I feel.
Thank you.
He's just saying what they're going to get from him. Sorry, I forgot I included that in there. So Initiates contact rather than absorbing it, hits passively. His carries a punishing running style that wears down defenders over 4 quarters. He demonstrates natural vision and zone concepts, patiently allowing blockers to develop before decisively attacking cutback lanes with purposeful footwork and quick mental processing. And that's one of my favorite things about running backs is when they don't just hit holes. You still got to hit a hole, but when he can think and process just like that right there, that's field. They say here he finishes runs with authority and competitive fire, particularly near the goal line where his nose and the end zone become pronounced, gets nasty when he smells the paint. Legitimate workhorse who capable of handling heavy volume, 285 carries in 2023, without significant performance drop-off or durability concerns. He seamlessly adjusts his running profile to squeeze through tight creases, manipulating his shoulders and frame to maximize space availability in congested areas. So even though he's 6'1", 6'2", just barely over 6'1", he plays much smaller, but he runs upright still and is able to run people over and still has an arse. I mean, he's stiff arm. He can do many things to be able to change the game up. He's a fun runner to watch for sure. So his weaknesses, though, too often catches himself dancing in the backfield when immediate holes aren't available, wasting valuable momentum. And I blame this more on his line. Let's get past that part there. I blame that more on his line. He runs with inconsistent pad level that varies dramatically from play to play, can get too upright through contact, limiting his natural power, exposing his frame to unnecessary punishment. His pass protection technique remains underdeveloped despite his size advantage, often resorting to diving at defenders' ankles rather than engaging with proper technique. He lacks elite lateral agility and explosive change of direction ability and separates special NFL backs. Won't make defenders miss in phone boost situations. His ball security warrants monitoring with 6 career fumbles, 4 of them lost. So, lives in gap and power schemes where his momentum and tackle breaking abilities can be harnessed without requiring much lateral creativity. And that would actually pair up really well with DeAndre Swift. The film shows a back with excellent vision between the tackles who knows how to set up blocks and explode through creases once he's identified them. While his 2024 regression is concerning, context matters. He's faced stacked boxes behind a crumbling offensive line with minimal support from the passing game. The gap between Gordon's rushing efficiency and his protection skills represents the most significant hurdle to immediate 3-down usage. When evaluating his NFL transition, I see a reliable chain mover with touchdown upside rather than a consistent home run threat. He reminds a little bit of Latavius Murray. That's what he does. His physicality translates immediately to short yardage and goal line situations, but his technical flaws in pass protection will likely limit his third down opportunities early in his career. The foundation for growing exists in his natural hands and receiving instincts, which could allow for expanded responsibilities as he develops. So they finish it off here by saying Gordon lands in that challenging evaluation territory, a productive college back with imposing size and athletic limitations that cap his ceiling. The combination of youth, he's just 21 on draft day, production pedigree, and physical attributes makes him an intriguing mid-round option with starter potential. His high-end outcome hinges on landing with a coordinator who emphasizes gap schemes and values his physicality, while his floor remains that of a valuable early down contributor and short yardage specialist. So this one's for Sam. Sam has been very high on Ollie Gordon. He wants him picked at number 10. I don't want any running back picked at number 10, so no thank you, Sam. But I do appreciate all your comments and everything you've been as part of the channel, Sam. So this one's a shout-out to you. I don't think Ollie Gordon's even on the Bears' radar. I do think someone's going to get a great opportunity with Ollie Gordon, though. He does have a lot of upside, a lot of potential. Obviously, whenever you're the rushing leader for an entire year in college football, that has to be taken into consideration and noticed. And he did that with Oklahoma State in 2023. So someone's going to get a good option with him. Someone's going to get a decent back that has the opportunity to thrive in the proper system. I don't think the Bears are looking at Ollie Gordon. I do think they're looking to take a running back with one of their top 3 picks, either 10, 39, or 41, and that wouldn't fit Ollie Gordon. But he's a good prospect to watch and a fun one to dissect, and if nothing else, helps me realize from year 1 to year 2 how much a regression can happen between a team and between a player, and it's risky to take a running back at number 10 overall. It's really risky. With that, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you don't mind hitting the like button, I appreciate when you do so. Till next time, the Bears and bear down.